morning from the Johnsons.
Good morning.
Good morning. So as we move into week 2, making smoothies is going to be an important part of your morning. When we move to week 2, we're going to end up taking away things like bagels and toast. And when you get to week 3, we're going to take away eggs. So having something that's going to give you that punch in the mornings is going to be very important for you, your body, and to keep you satiated throughout the morning. Morning smoothies are a great way to not only get protein in the morning, get a really good kickoff, but you can also add in some healthy fats that are going to burn slower in the body and stop those kind of carb cravings that you get. And as you move through week 2, you are going to get carb cravings because we are going to take out all of your gluten. You will be able to have things like rice or quinoa, but we want you to start to cut that back because in week 3, we're going grain-free. So we're going to do a little smoothie making this morning. Now, we should probably talk a little bit about how you and I make smoothies. Kevin and I basically follow a different type of plan. I'm not quite the garbage smoothie, although I probably put way more in than many of you will, but Kevin's a garbage smoothie guy. And Kevin also works more with keto. Kevin's family has a history of dementia, Alzheimer's that runs back through the ages. So we know that when we're working with an autoimmune disease or we're looking to avoid something expressing like dementia or Alzheimer's, there's certain things you need to do. Keto diets or maintaining a keto or even a flexible keto, which means you go keto some days and you do a carb day, is really important for brain health. We talk a lot about this in our seminars, but Kevin follows that type. He does not want epigenetics to happen, right? Epigenetics means that you have a lifestyle that makes genes in your body express that might not if you lived a certain lifestyle. So Kevin's going to make a more keto kind of smoothie. He's going to add a lot more stuff to his smoothie, where I'm going to work more on that keto paleo, and I'm not so concerned about keeping mine on that keto side. Now, on top of that, we also add certain things to our smoothies that we feel are important to our body. Here's the deal. When you make your morning smoothie, you pick what you want to put in it based on the shopping lists that we provide. So we're going to build our smoothies. We're going to let you see what we do, and we'll talk a little bit about why we select all those things. So Kev, let's first talk about the types of machines that we use.
Okay.
So there are a number of different machines that you can use to make smoothies. You can use a Vitamix, you can use a NutriBullet, you can use a Ninja, you can even use a blender. Based on how many smoothies you make or what you use in your kitchen would depend on how much you want to spend.
Right.
We do a lot with soups and different things like that. So us having a Vitamix was really important.
Yeah.
A Vitamix is a big expense. So these are Vitamix containers. So you can make them in, this is more for dry goods, but we've made it a smoothie because we like different smoothies. Then they have things like the NutriBullet. So this is a Magic Bullet, a NutriBullet, comes with a little, and it comes with different size cups. Based on the one you buy, there's a bigger model, there's a smaller model. This is the smaller model. We travel mostly with this, so they have smaller cups, where the bigger model is going to have a bigger cup to work with. Next thing you want to know is that how you add your ingredients is going to be important. When you're using something like a NutriBullet or a Vitamix, you often add your berries first. So I'm going to pass over to Kevin. He's going to talk to you a little bit about what he adds in.
So as Sue mentioned, I do a keto diet, and about the only thing I will measure, and if you can see, I already put them in there, is the berries. Okay, so for me, these are the sugary things, and berries are good because they're not as sugary.
And on the 28-day Healthy Reboot, berries are always approved. Blueberries, raspberries only. Okay, strawberries are taken off. They can be an inflammatory food, they can be an allergen, and many times they have pesticides. So we're going to ask you to work with organic blueberries and raspberries, and they can be frozen. I got this one at Kirkland. This is a Costco type of a thing, although many stores have it. This is a Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's makes a variety of organic berries, and in week 2, you can have any berry, but going into week 3 and week 4, blueberries and strawberries only.
Now I do cyclical keto, so today happens to be a carb day for me. So instead of 1/3 of a cup of berries, I'm actually using 1/2 cup. And I love banana, and I love the banana flavor. So this is actually awful looking. However, I get some of the more ripe bananas. I break them into pieces and freeze them. And that's just, they go brown in the freezer, so nothing wrong.
So let's talk about bananas.
Yep.
Many people like bananas in their smoothies. Bananas will be limited to half a banana. They're very high in sugar in the second week, and no bananas the third week or the fourth week.
Right.
But for you going forward, they do make a great flavor. We're going to take them out for sugar reasons only. It's not an inflammatory reason, but because we want your sugar levels down in week 2 and week 3 and week 4, no bananas then, but half a banana if you're going to use them for right now.
Right, and even though it's a carb day, this is about a quarter of a regular banana. I don't go crazy on the carbs. I just have probably twice as much as what I would normally have on a keto day. Okay, so berries first. Now, this one is the dry blender. In the typical one, this one here, you add your liquids pretty early on. I will add some liquid here just to get it to the bottom. I prefer almond milk because it's a little thicker than coconut milk.
And let's quickly talk about almond milk. So I brought this up in some of the other videos, but this almond milk is a shelf-stable almond milk. This is not refrigerated. We prefer on weeks 3 and 4 that you don't use stable shelf milk because they sometimes have preservatives. This one is actually a very clean one. You get this one at Costco. It doesn't have that, but some of the Trader Joe's ones you can buy do have preservatives. We would rather see you use a refrigerated style. This is a coconut beverage. They're always going to be unsweetened. And whether you use coconut or almond or hemp milk, it doesn't matter. Just no soy, no oat, no rice milk.
Okay. And now for the greens. So this is the part I think that is very much variable. I struggle with this bag. We hadn't opened it. If you can assist me.
Let me get a knife.
Lovely assistant.
Well, and so let's talk about greens while you open that. So when we're talking about greens and smoothie making, I'll let that quiet down so you can hear. When we talk about greens and smoothie making, you're going to avoid spinach raw on the 28-day healthy reboot starting in week 2. Spinach raw is a goitrogen. Goiters are things that you can get in your thyroid. So we're going to ask that you not use them raw. You're going to ask that you cook them. So you can put them into soups you make, you can saute them, you can add them to certain foods. But when you are working with your smoothies, we're going to ask that you use kale, that you use chard, that you use other greens than spinach. This is actually a rainbow kale. It's organic. You'll see this great big sticker on the front of it. This means at Walmart it was on sale. Their organic products don't always move. We put all of our green smoothies, our smoothie greens, in the freezer to keep them fresh.
Fresh, and also for me, I happen to like a smoothie that's really pretty thick. And the more frozen stuff is, the thicker it's going to be.
Okay. Do that there. So, okay, so then what's next?
So you notice I didn't measure, I just put in, I love greens, so sometimes I really pack it in there. This is probably an average amount for me. I'm going to put some avocado in. These are frozen avocado chunks that we buy.
So let's talk a little bit about avocados.
Avocado while I struggle with the bag.
So avocados, they're great in your smoothie. If you are looking to lose weight, avocados are a place where you can add extra calories. Now they are keto, which is awesome. So they're a healthy fat, they're awesome to use. But if you are eating other carbs in week 2, particularly quinoas or rices or things like that, keep in mind that fat and carbs together can put on the weight. When you're fully keto, fats are great. Now here's the other thing. Trader Joe's sells this, Costco sells frozen avocados. And you can buy avocados on sale when they're really cheap and they go ripe on you and you don't know what to do with them. Chunk them up, put them on a sheet tray, freeze them, and then put them in a bag because they're awesome and you get to use them whenever you need them. And you can buy them on sale. When you use them frozen, it tends to be more cold. Use them when they're warm. It tends not to be quite as warm. Again, Kevin likes his like thick and stick the spoon in it. So
this is going to make your smoothies thicker. So the more avocado you put in, the creamier your finished product is going to be. Some people don't like that. Some people like a runny,
yes.
I make that sound bad. Some people like a more
thin,
watery, thin smoothie, and that's fine. That's personal preference.
And remember, in weeks 3 and week 4, when you have no grains, the more fats, the slower the burn, the less cravings that you're going to get. Okay, what's next?
Okay, well, you know, and I'm putting these in any particular order now. So we have some pecan butter here. I love pecan butter or the almond butter. We've historically used a lot of almond butter, but we picked this up recently, and you know, pecans just to me have a really stronger nutty flavor, just a stronger flavor than almonds overall. So I will put in a reasonable amount.
Okay, so let's go stop and we'll talk a little bit about this. Okay, so putting in some kind of an almond butter, a pecan butter, a walnut butter is great. It must be the only ingredient. Be very mindful. They do add sugars often to these kind of things. This is a pecan. This is an organic one. I do believe we picked this up at Costco. This is the Kirkland organic almond butter. I got this at Costco. But this is the Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's makes raw, they make roasted. These run around, I want to say they were $5.99 or $6.99, where this one at Kirkland runs around $7.99. You can see there is a difference. So there is some benefit to belonging to a Costco if you have one near you. But again, these are great things to add. No peanuts, no cashews. Peanuts and cashews are legumes and they are inflammatory to the body. And peanuts in particular can have a mold associated with them, which can bother people's brains. So we take peanuts out of your program.
So as part of the keto diet, I really try to load up on omega-3 fats from good sources. So the avocados, some, the pecan butter is some, and I love walnuts too. So I get the baking pieces because if you're just going to chop them up, it costs a lot more to get the whole halves. So
and you got these at Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's, and you know, just put a few of those in.
And again, you don't have to add this. This is not something you have to add. It's just something Kevin likes to do.
Right.
And when we talk about omega-3s, walnuts are a good omega-3s. You need to keep them in the refrigerator. Omega-3s go bad quickly. And you want to be mindful that omega-3s, when we talk about them in walnuts, they're not as readily bodily available as something like an omega-3 fish oil. But they're a good source of omega-3s.
Now you're getting a sense that I really do a kitchen sink sort of smoothie, because now I'm going to add one more thing. Actually, I'm going to add a few more things. So here, hemp hearts, and I'll let you talk to the
So hemp hearts are amazing. Hemp is a great protein source. For my vegans and vegetarians out there, this is something that you can get. Now this one we got at, I can't remember where we got this one. This is called Manitoba Harvest Organic Hemp Hearts, probably either at Costco or Trader Joe's. Yeah, one of those. You can add this to salads. You can add this to smoothies. So you can sprinkle it over things. You can do a number of things with hemp hearts. But for those of you who need a good protein source, hemp is a fabulous protein source. This has 10 grams for 3 tablespoons, again, which you could sprinkle on a salad or you could add to a smoothie. So hemp is going to be ideal for you.
Next, I'm going to put in a little bit of maca powder.
Maca powder, you get this at Trader Joe's. Maca powder is an adaptogen, so it helps with hormonal health.
For your mojo.
Yeah, for your mojo.
But I will warn, don't go crazy on the maca. That's actually a fair amount. I'm going to put a little less out.
It has a flavor.
It's a very strong flavor. So if you don't want to overwhelm your taste your smoothie with maca, just maybe a half a teaspoon at most.
All right.
All right.
Do you do that or no?
Yeah, only so some cacao here because the protein powder we're going to use is a chocolate. If I was doing a vanilla, I wouldn't use the cacao.
Cacao is an antioxidant. It's another good kick. Just something you can add in. I like a really chocolatey smoothie, so I always like to add it in.
I'm not going crazy here either. You know, like a teaspoon,
and again, that's Trader Joe's. And then finally, he's going to add in his protein powder. So this is Perfect Keto. I've mentioned this many times. I really like this company. On the price point, it's probably middle of the road. It's not the least expensive. Super clean, really healthy. This is going to have 9 grams of protein in it. So if you did this, plus you did the hemp, plus you did the almond butter or whatever, you're going to get a good kick of protein. You don't need a ton, but you do want to make sure that there's something to burn off for the day. Great flavor. This comes in vanilla, salted caramel, and chocolate. My favorite is the chocolate. Kevin likes the vanilla as well. And we have folks that like the salted caramel. So again, a great thing to do. So this is Kevin's garbage smoothie. He's gonna throw it onto the Vitamix. We're gonna end it here. But we'll come on.
One thing I will say is you can see there's very little liquid in here. This will not blend with that little bit. So I will put some more almond milk on top. And then the Vitamix, the beauty of this is it's got a removable cap. So as it's blending. If it's stuck, you just add a little more, or you have to stop it and push the ingredients down to get it to all blend up.
And what we'll do is, next to this video, we'll take a shot of Kevin's final product. I'll come on and do a second video, and we'll actually do my smoothie so that you can see what I would put in my smoothie, which is not a garbage smoothie. If you have any questions about smoothie making, please jump on the Facebook page. It's the 28-Day Healthy Reboot. Post questions, ask us about ingredients, because this is going to be key to your breakfast, particularly in weeks 3 and week 4, where you can switch off between a protein bar and a protein shake. Protein shake's going to take you a little farther, but you can mix them up as to what you do and what you want in your morning. Some people don't like this quite as much. You can do it as a mid-morning snack type of thing, or you can do it to start your day off and get it going.
And
Final comments?
Yeah, so you said about mid-morning. It is now almost 11 o'clock. I haven't eaten a thing all day. A good thing about getting off the carb cycle is I don't wake up hungry. In my old days, when I would have cereal and toast and things like bagels, first thing I would think about when my feet hit the ground coming out of bed was, what am I going to eat? And that's because of the carb cycle. That's gone. I wake up, I have black coffee, so that doesn't initiate my metabolism yet. Yeah, I'm just now feeling hungry. It's 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and that is what's called intermittent fasting. Kevin, probably, we had our last meal last night, probably sometime
I keep track of the time, and it was a little bit before 8 o'clock when I had my last carb intake, my last, calorie intake.
Calorie intake, so you come forward, that's about 15 hours. So you want to try to, if you're intermittent fasting, it's good for your body, it's a great detox, it helps you lose weight. From your last bite of food or calorie, because that could be a milk or something, so from your last calorie at night to your first calorie in the morning, so that's not a black coffee or a black tea or water, you want to try to put it anywhere between 14 and 16 hours if you can. So 15 is right in the zone.
Yeah, well, or at least 12, what they call a 12-3. So 3 hours before you go to bed, your last intake.
Yep.
12 hours after that from your last intake minimum for when you have your next calorie intake.
Yep. But if you want to do true intermittent, go a little bit longer.
Go a little longer.
They want you to go a little longer, but always 3 hours before you go to bed. Okay. Anything else?
Great.
All right, great. We'd love to hear your comments.
Bye.
Bye.